What is up, FnTrue followers and the YWC? I'm JC Styles, back at you with another TNA Impact review for 7/14/2011. Sorry Brian couldn't be with me tonight. He's feeling a little bit under the weather. He will get his thoughts up shortly. We start the show off with Immortal coming down to the ring and cutting a promo on, how Immortal is a family, how Immortal sticks up for one another. You're not just Immortal for life, you're a part of our family. They go on to speak about how Mr. Anderson, when he won the title, didn't get his party celebration. No one showed up. So they basically all got dressed up and threw Mr. Anderson joining Immortal / winning the championship party. Then they introduced Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson came out and basically said, I'm only joining Immortal because you guys promised me that I would be the top ace in the deck. That you made promises that I want you to fulfill. Then the lights go out. Lights come back on. We see Sting sitting in the chair next to the poker table, and he says, gambling. We're gambling people in this ring. Sting goes on to say that he's going to try to win the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, so that way that's bringing him one step closer to bringing the control back in the favor of Dixie Carter. He also talked about the network, that the network warned Bischoff and Hogan to watch themselves because they got to answer to the network. Then Sting starts going on like this crazy rant, not making any sense, which is a good thing. I mean, I'm starting to really get interested in Sting again because the fact is that, I think every wrestler's gimmick needs to be re-imaged, and they're definitely doing a fantastic job with Sting's current character. Then Sting goes on and says, I'm going to have backup just in case if anyone tries anything tonight. And he points up to the rafters and he says, look, look, look. And you see like 4 or 5 guys standing in clown masks with trench coats and baseball hats. And it was just really interesting to see what was going to happen. So the lights go off. Sting throws the table. The lights go off. The lights come back on. Sting's gone. The people in the rafters are gone. Then we go to a commercial break. We come back to our very first match of the night, which is another match in the Bound for Glory series. We see Robert Roode versus Samoa Joe versus the Pope D'Angelo De Niro. Now, this actually was a good match. I enjoyed it. I don't know what's going on with Samoa Joe as of late. They're having him job, and I have a feeling that this is going to bring very bad actions to TNA, just because of the fact that I have a feeling that Joe's going to wind up snapping. He's going to wind up hurting everybody, like, going on that tyrant like he did when he first started the Nation of Violence gimmick. We see Joe go for the armbar submission on Bobby Roode's bad arm for the 10 points. You win the match by pinfall at 7, submission is 10. We see Roode hit a double-A spine buster. Also see Roode do a flipping neck break or something similar to the blockbuster by Buff Bagwell off the second rope. Joe attempts at a muscle buster on the Pope, turns into the payoff, which is a perfect plex for any of those who don't know. Joe also we see Joe try to finish the match off. Just when you thought he was going to lock it in, Robert ran up the turnbuckles and flipped over, turning it into a pinfall. The winner of the match and gaining another 7 points in the Bound for Glory series is Robert Roode. This match was a very fantastic, fast-paced match. There was just so many good spots in this match that I could not take my eyes off of it. Then we go to a commercial break. We come back and we see Jeff Jarrett and Karen Angle walking into the Impact Zone backstage. They show off the AAA championship that he won down in Mexico. Now, I don't know, me and Brian were talking through this whole show via AIM, and I have to say, I said to Brian that this belt looks like a cheap knockoff that you can create off of highspots.com. I don't know, it didn't look real, but he did legitimately win the AAA championship down in Mexico. Then we see the Pope and Devon talking backstage, talking about Devon's kids, and he says, look, when I tell them to jump, they jump. You don't tell them what to do. I'm their father. Those are my boys, etc. They go on this tyrant. They go on this little kind of like a little, trying to, one-up each other in the backstage segment. And Devon just lets them have it. He's like, don't come near my kids again. Then we see Shannon Moore versus Austin Aries. I actually missed this match because I had to help my mother with something. So I came back and I saw Austin Aries use the chain on Shannon Moore to pick up the victory. Basically, he cheated to win his very first match in his third match back from signing with TNA. Then we see Tara versus Madison Rayne. Match starts. We see Madison Rayne demand Tara to lay down for her. We see her yelling and basically screaming in Tara's face. Then we see Tara knock Madison to the knock her around, slapping her. Then we see Tara do her very well executed standard backwards moonsault. Then we see them fight. The match spill out to the outside of the ring. Madison kind of pulls Tara into the steel steps, then walks into the ring and grabs the package, the gift that Madison thought was for her. She opened it up and it was actually poison, Tara's pet tarantula. Madison freaks out. She walks right into a widow's peak. Tara picks up the win. Then we see Tara basically torment Madison Rayne around the ring with poison. Then Kurt Angle comes out and he speaks about his #1 contendership he has at Hardcore Justice for the TNA World Heavyweight title. He says, regardless of who wins tonight, I will be kicking Mr. Anderson's ass. Then he turned around and spoke to us about Sting when they were members of the Main Event Mafia, that they had the feud over the World Heavyweight title and how the fans thought that it was an amazing match. And I thought it was as well. Then we go to a commercial break. We come back. We see Mexican America versus the British Invasion. Basically, this match was very boring to me. I mean, granted, I respect every wrestler that gets into the ring, but this match didn't really stand out to me. We see a Mexican America versus the British Invasion for the #1 contendership for the TNA Tag Team titles. Rosita gets up on the apron to distract the referee, which Hernandez interfered, helping his team with the match to win the match and the #1 contendership shot at the TNA Tag Team titles at Hardcore Justice. Then we see Gunner out back calling for Sting and calling for his group of bandits that he called them. He winds up getting jumped by all 4 of the clowns, only to be, lo and behold, that it's actually AJ, Daniels, James Storm, and Kazarian. Then they said, don't worry about Brother Ray, Bully Ray. I'll get him. We got him. Anderson versus Sting for the World Heavyweight title. This match was awesome. I enjoyed it from beginning to start. It was a very good back and forth match. We saw Anderson put the Scorpion Deathlock on Sting. We saw Sting use the mic check on Mr. Anderson. Then we see Sting put the Scorpion Deathlock on Mr. Anderson. Bully Ray comes out and jumps Sting from behind. The lights go out. Lights come back on. We see one of the final members of the Clown, Sting's backup, which we find out who that was a little bit later on. Then we see the Clown distract Mr. Anderson. We see Sting hit the Scorpion Death Drop on Mr. Anderson. Ref crawls back into the ring, getting counts 1, 2, 3. Our new TNA World Heavyweight Champion is Sting. Now, this is a very, I don't know, this is kind of making Mr. Anderson seem weak, but I know now that Mr. Anderson's part of Immortal, he's probably going to have the title a little bit more. This is building up Sting versus Kurt Angle for Hardcore Justice. And then the Clown is on the stage. He pulls the mask off, and lo and behold, it's actually Kurt Angle. Now, these clowns actually got me. I thought it was somebody else. I was thinking that it was some of the X Division stars, like Brian said to me as well. I was thinking it was probably going to be like a whole bunch of X Division posse, but it wasn't. It was Fortune, so it actually made actually made for an interesting fit. Now for the plugs of the night, I would like to plug the Wrestling Revolution, the wrestling show. Please check out the Block and the other members of the Wrestling Revolution. Please check out the FnTrue Click. That is me and Brian's baby. Please check out our sister site, FnTrueWrestling. Please follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. Also, please send us a message on Skype. Friend request on Skype, I'm sorry. And for the final plug, it's a new gentleman. That I just started watching today. He does some TNA unboxing videos. He actually just went to Destination X with his buddy and his parents. The Blueprint 1317. He does some really good unboxings. A little bit unfair because he doesn't really get what he wants from the TNA shop TNA, because he actually gets the brown bags. As we know, the brown bags are actually kind of random. So, but please subscribe to him. He's a very good kid. I watched a couple of his videos. He's very friendly. You know, he does trades through YouTube of extra DVDs, duplicates he has. So check him out. Send him a message. And for the taglines, you're either effing true or you're effing screwed. Learn to love it. It's the best thing going today. And have a good night. We'll see you back tomorrow night for SmackDown. If we don't see you for SmackDown, we'll definitely see you for Sunday night Money in the Bank review. Have a good night. Enjoy the weekend.